Hello everyone and welcome to the Lost Mine, a customized D&D 5th edition game played on Roll20. This campaign has been modified to serve as a prequel and lead into another campaign, and if you want to see more action, I recently uploaded a missing episode of our first ever game on Roll20 called The Beginning, so you can check that out, and it also loosely serves as a prequel to this. But now, for the action at hand. And with that, from Darkadia, a dwarf named Gunrun Rockseeker asked you to bring a wagon load of weapons to the rough and tumble settlement of Phandelver, a number of days' travel southeast of the city. Gunrun was clearly excited and more than a little secretive about his reasons for the trip, saying only that he and his brothers had found something big, and that he would pay you 10 gold pieces each for escorting his supplies safely to Leosin Earthlana at the Miners' Exchange, a trading post in Phandelver. He set out ahead of you on horse, along with a warrior escort named Sildar Hallwinter, claiming that he needed to arrive early to take care of business. You've spent the last few days following the high road south, and you've just recently veered east along the Treba Trail. You've encountered no trouble thus far, but this territory can be dangerous. Bandits and outlaws have been known to lurk around the trail, and it's here where we join two travelers transporting the provisions. And they are rare and an uncommon duo, starting with the Jonin monkey as Kit Tor a Tabaxi. Jonin, would you like to introduce your character?
Alrighty then. So, Kit Tor, when you first look at him, he has the typical appearance of a rogue. He's concealing most of his outfit underneath a cloak, and even then it appears to be like very lightweight armor and like leather gloves, like all just suitable for very light travel. And he seems to have a very casual, cocky air about him, just sort of casually like spinning a knife in his hand every once in a while. What's uncommon is that he seems to have a very light, cheerful attitudes, and I will say his traveling companion has had to put up with him just like shooting random questions every once in a while, like so do you like it when it rains? Like, does it cause issues, or does it just bother you? I don't know.
This does bring us to the traveling companion, a very rare sight in this realm. It is a warforged by the name of Ark, which are a rare, at this time, mechanized construct living that was made for an ancient and long-forgotten war. This one still remains, and his name is Ark. Would you like to introduce yourself, Banff?
So, my character is Ark, so that stands for Armored Response and Control Construct, and he's fairly enigmatic at this point. But he is very law-abiding, has been recruited to take part in this adventure. Luckily, he's as he's mechanized, he's not too easily worked up, so all of Kit Tor's questions and remarks haven't flustered him at all.
You're currently traveling the road where your horse stops in its tracks.
Hey boy, what's wrong? Is it you hungry, or something in the road?
It stamps its feet, but doesn't return.
Okay, I'm gonna try and grab the reins and see if I can get it to respond.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh boy. And this will be the moment when the horse turns up.
The first enemy of the campaign.
Talk about foreshadowing.
Hey, that's a great way to start the game.
You've reasonably calmed it down, but something has definitely spooked it. Meanwhile, as one group of heroes braves the open road, another pair of players have just arrived up ahead. Sven the Crusader playing Loris the War Mage. Would you like to introduce yourself?
To look at this dwarf, you wouldn't really see anything out of place in dwarfdom. A shortish man, about 4.5 feet tall. Just coming to age, it seems. His hair is long, but his beard is, well, it's getting there. He's bedecked in a red in a maroon cloak and robes beneath worn scale mail. Not really the most impressive specimen to look at him, but you would not know that to look at the way he carries himself, all seemingly brainless confidence, for he is Loris Gloryhammer, and he is out for glory.
Indeed. And with him, we have Odin playing Rak, a shadow sorcerer. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Rax, not very well built for a half-orc, a bit leaner than most. He's an extremely pale complexion, covered almost head to toe in scars, though not much of his body is able to be seen underneath his heavy leather coat. Although he's a bit dark at times, he seems to have quite a bit of a childish side, which will no doubt come out.
You two have been sent by Stephen Blaze, a representative to the Lord's Alliance, to investigate the disappearance of one Gundren Rockseeker, who was due in Phandalin some time ago and has seemingly gone missing on the open road. You are near an upturned wagon with signs of foul play.
This is going to go fantastically, I'm sure, but can I roll an investigation check to, determine what happened?
You may indeed.
That's one of my trained skills, too.
Oh, man.
You're kicking around the empty barrels of the wagon. You can't seem to find much of note, but there are definitely many prints on the ground and stains of blood.
Is our horse behaving itself? Are we moving towards the others?
For the rest of you, who have been on the Treeboard Tray for about half a day, you come around the bend and you spot about 50 feet ahead of you, blocking the path, there is an upturned wagon with two individuals investigating. There are black feathered arrows sticking in the ground. Seemingly, the investigators have missed them. Perhaps they didn't roll so well. The woods are pretty close to the trail here, with a steep embankment and dense thickets on either side. The saddlebags have been looted, and nearby lies an empty leather map case.
Okay, so
Your horse, however, is not moving, but you can
Yeah.
see them at that distance ahead of you.
I'd like to call out and be, Sir, do you and your son require assistance?
Yeah.
I guess that we're able to hear this from this distance.
You will, yes.
Look behind me.
I at this distance I see them, right?
Yes, you can, yeah. They have stopped not too far away from you. Their horse is refusing to move.
I start off. Hail, travelers! I will have you know I am no child. I am a respected. What on earth? I am a respected war mage.
Noted. But still, do you require assistance?
I did break the cart.
I look at Rack and say, two questions. Do we trust them? And what is that thing?
It's my face.
I mean, never mind. Are you armed and are you friendly?
I
I've
am
got
always
at least
armed,
two each.
and I'm friendly if you are.
We don't
No,
intend
at this
to
point,
attack.
Kit it just all leaps off going, yeah, always armed, always friendly, and yeah, kind of what he said. We're friendly if you are. I don't intend to attack. See? Look at me, not intending to attack.
Well, that's good enough for me. Approach, then, I suppose. I go back to looking perturbed and uncharacteristically confused by the scene before me.
Are there
try
any
an investigation check while they're approaching.
Are there any brakes on this thing to stop it in case the horse just decides to bolt?
I think the impression is that the horse is just scared out of its wits and is just refusing to move at the moment.
Okay. I'll approach the broken wagon then.
As you're conducting this investigation, Kit's just going to approach him and like, so, yeah, what is it you guys are doing? Because we kind of need to go to the mines in order to get paid, and I don't know if it's you scaring the horse or something else, but either way, that cart's really not helping.
We were looking for something.
Oh, really?
We're on business, and there's a missing person that we're not having. There's a missing person that we need to find.
Ah, right. Okay. I'll see if I can see them, and I'm just going to do like a general perception check to see if there's anyone else in the area. And I've just rolled a perception check just to see if there's like anything, any other people in the area.
And Rack has investigated the caravan, hopefully to more success than I.
As you get closer and you investigate the caravan, you do indeed find that map case on the trail ahead of you, which no map inside of it, and looted saddlebags. Your perception check reveals. Let's make a roll. In the woods, to either side of you, you can see movement.
Tell me, are you missing people? Do they like hanging around in trees? Because otherwise, this is a very bad situation.
I've never asked him.
Me either, but I seriously doubt it.
At which point, I would like you to roll initiatives.
Oh, of course.
From either side of the ridge of you. Clevered arrows, and prepare to attack.
I'm so glad that I've been rolling that my 2 rolls so far have been terrible, because I wrote this guy to be ridiculous.
Alright. Let's roll some initiatives for the goblin, which did better than their stealth roll on that natural 1. Okay. With that, Kit Tor, with your quick roguish reflexes, you are the first to act.
Alright, first off, Kit mutters under his breath, why is it always the goblins? And then I am going to move up to, let's see, which would be the best spot to cover. First off, I'm going to take a pot shot at this guy up here with my short bow.
Go for it.
Oh.
Alright, you reel back and get ready to fire, but your projectile just lands directly at your feet.
In that case, I'm just going to go, alright, keep it together, and I am going to move more towards the ridge to try and, I'm going to use, actually, what I'll do is I'll use my feline agility to double my speed so that I can move, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's 15, 20, and then over there, just more to the ridge so I at least have cover from one side.
Alright, like a stray cat when you try to pet it, you dash under the and prepare for the attack. Rack, it is your action.
Rack's gonna throw a glob of acid at the goblins to the north. On both
Alright.
of them.
Is that a spell?
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
No
They
problem.
got DC 13 deck save.
Alright, dex save from the goblin. They actually pass it. Surprisingly. With the steep angle of the ridge and the cover, they do manage to step away from it.
And then I'm going to go prone.
Okay, you dive down onto the floor to get advantage. To give disadvantage if they are to use ranged attacks. Arc, it is your action.
Would I be able to get up that ridge?
You would indeed. It would take a climb check, but it's certainly doable. You could always go around as well.
I think going around would take too long. Alright, let's attempt to move up this ridge then.
You know, it just hit me. First you had clankers as a companion. Now you are clankers.
I know, right? Except I'm not hollow.
You scramble up the side of the ridge, but you can't quite find your way up to it. Unfortunately, the climb check will be your action arc. You couldn't quite make it up the ridge. They picked their spot well, and they're firing down upon you. Anything else you want to do?
No, that'll be it.
Okay, it then goes to them, and they step forward on each side to prepare to fire their bows. They step forward 15 feet, and they will step backwards 15 feet. So there will be 4 short bow shots coming in. There's going to be one at each of you, so I'll go down the line. The ones on the left can see Kit Tor, so I will do that one first.
Okay.
The shortbow attacks are coming in first on Kit Tor. It is an 8. Next on the left-hand side also is going to be for Loris, and that is a 12.
With.
For the right-hand side, just above you, Arc, a goblin has stepped forward and fires its shortbow shot towards you. As a 13, which I know will miss you, and your Warforged armor, and then a disadvantage on the downed rat. The next one comes in at a 9.
That's a miss.
They then step backwards out of direct visual again. Passes over to Loris.
Okay, so we've got rapscallions afoot, and Loris is going to he's going to say not quite under his breath, but probably what passes for it for him. My time is now, and I'm going to step here. I'm still in visual of these two, right?
Yeah, if you stand in the middle, you can do ranged attacks on the sides.
Okay. I am going to pitch a firebolt at this.
Okay. The armor class is 15.
Natural 20.
Natural 20, that will do it. Do your damage. As your firebolt veers in,
17.
it hits the goblin directly and sends him flying backwards into the tree, which itself catches alight.
That sounds like Loris. He blinks and he blinks for a moment, says, more effective than I thought it would be, and he's going to take cover behind the wreckage of this cart in the barrels.
Not a problem. Kit Tor, it is your action. There's a black feathered arrow directly next to you, but thankfully, like your own shot previously, it didn't hit them.
Okay. So, can I see the goblins from my position, or?
You can see the goblins to the south of you. Well, I should say one goblin. You can see a lot of fire.
Okay. So, You know what? Feck it. I am going to try and climb up this ridge to get to the two goblins here.
Not a problem. Make me a climb check or athletics.
Okay. Let's see. There we go. Oh, my God. 8.
You try to scramble up the hill, but your paws just keep digging into the soil, unfortunately.
I'm going to say it ends up being like those joke cat images where it's like... just sort of course going down.
You just slowly slide down.
And just sort of yelling very unpleasant phrases in another language as I do.
Not a problem. You have bonus actions if you wish to use them.
I don't think I can do anything with them, so that ends my turn.
Rek, you're up. You're on the ground. You're able to roll across from those arrows that came.
I'm gonna get back up.
Not a problem.
I'm gonna try the acid again.
Alright.
13 for the pair of them at the top.
Okay, that is dexterity, right? There's a 6, they fail. Alright, the acid splashes into them. You can see, from your perspective, burn their flesh away. They're still there, but they're very badly burnt.
And using the rest of my movement, I'm going to go to ground again.
Not a problem. You dive back onto ground once again to protect yourself from the incoming fire. Ark is your action.
I'm going to attempt to climb up there, up the ridge.
Not a problem. Give me a climb check.
Oh my days.
Unfortunately, as is always seeming the way, mild physical peril seems to be the most effective use of the Dungeon Master. You pretty much walk into it rather than climbing it. It then goes back to the goblins, where I am going to make a roll. Okay, that happens. The goblins on the ridge move in and take their shots once more. There's only 3 of them left now. So, Kit, as the furthest target away, you will not be targeted. Rak, you will be targeted with disadvantage, which will be an 8. Loris, you're getting 1 shot in, and an 18.
Just above.
And for Ark, you are also getting a short bow at short range for yourself at 14, which I do not believe hits.
No.
Loris, you take 8 points of piercing damage as it shoots directly into your shoulder. You can feel the pain shooting through your body. They then move back again, and it does move to yourself.
I'm on 1 HP.
I'm in danger.
They're still in visual, yes?
Yes, just about.
In that case, mentally cursing that a war mage of note could possibly be inconvenienced by the likes of these creatures, Loris is going to pop out of cover, take a firebolt at this goblin on yonder.
Yes, the one to the side.
14.
That is just a miss, I'm afraid, as it veers to the location. But the spectacle of the fire you created, burning the area ahead of you, brings up a blinding light as the flame starts to rise higher, and your attack goes wide.
Okay, now deciding that Rak has the right idea, I'm going to use half my movement to dump myself on my face.
Not a problem. You pretty much partially crawl under what is there of the wagon, seeing as your side it has tipped over to yourself. So you can pretty much get out of visual.
So, question. I've just noticed on my character sheet that it says I have a climbing speed of 20 foot. Would that be enough to get over this ridge, or would I still need to make the athletics check?
Yeah, it's your action. It would still take a check. It means you wouldn't be slowed by climbing, but when there's an obstacle involved, I put a check.
Right, gotcha. Okay, and can I see these guys to the north at all?
No, unfortunately, from your perspective, they are above the ridge because you're directly next to it. So there's a steep incline, so you can't see anything.
Right. Okay. In that case, let's see. Sorry, just checking some distances real quick. Let's see, 20 foot.
No problem.
Okay. I am going to move towards Ark, and there's a yes. So it seems like we're both having trouble. Sorry about this. And I'm going to try and would I be able to use an acrobatics check to essentially use Ark as a step to try and get up the ridge, like leap off it?
Definitely. Give me an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Where the heck is it? Oh, there it is, right at the top. I swear this is a nat 1. There we go.
Alright, that is a fantastic acrobatic check. You pretty much pose the question to Ark as you're performing the maneuver, as you step onto his head. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to make a DC 10 dexterity saving throw where you land.
Okay.
No problem. You land there, and as you flip up onto the top, you can see that there's a rope snare inside of the tree. Your foot partially gets caught in it as you step up there, but you're able to wriggle your way out without a problem.
In that case, I turn around and I presume that's taking my action. So
It is your action to make the check, yeah.
Okay, so in that case, I'm just going to move slightly away from it, and then I'm going to say to the big goblin, "Nice try, but I've seen those tricks, and in fact, I've even your kind has even forced me to make those in the past. So, let's play."
They look visibly
leave it at that.
shocked at that, especially at your dramatic acrobatics and a version of the trap they set up on the tree. Rack, it is your action.
I'm gonna jump up
Not a problem.
and pick a bird and acid
Alright, dexterity save again, right?
13.
With a +2, 21.
Oh my word!
It's not the boogeyman, it's the goblin you send to slay the boogeyman.
Deflated, he'll go back to the floor.
Not a problem.
Literally deflated like a balloon.
Peekaboo, you shout and then awkwardly kind of lower yourself back down to the ground. Speaking of awkwardly on the ground, Ark, it's your action.
Yeah. Being as I'm right below, would have assumed I'd have heard Kitor's exchange.
Yeah, you are aware that you are a fantastic trampoline.
And I will deduce that there is some shenanigans up there, so I'm going to move to the side and then try and climb.
Not a problem.
Third time lucky, come on. Never mind.
Aww.
You're punching your metal arms into the side of the climbing area, but you're just pulling away dirt rather than lifting yourself.
I'll just punch my way through.
It then goes to the goblin. From your perspective, Kit Tor, they run to this location. Well, one of them runs the full amount. The other one gets about halfway and uses a bow strike at you.
Okay.
For 16.
That just hits.
Just hits, okay. The damage on that attack will be 3 piercing damage. Since he was running away from you and almost shooting behind his back, not nearly as effective as the down shot, because they had the high ground. That's...
It was over before it began.
At disadvantage against Rack once again, with a short bow for the other one that comes forward and attacks. It is a... They then move back around. It rolled 3 times because I got impatient and kept clicking it. As the goblin impatiently fired its shot, and Loris, it is your action.
Okay. Just gonna look at my options real quick.
Currently, you have no visuals inside of the wagon, but you are easily able to take a 5-foot crawl out. to
Yeah,
see.
I'll do that stand up and
When you're out, you only see one goblin to the south. The other two have
That's-
disappeared, but well, the tabaxi you just met has miraculously made their way up on the verge.
Loris is impressed and also in pain. I'm one goblin is good enough for me. I'm going to firebolt at it.
Go for it.
Jesus!
Just shy, I'm afraid, with an armor class of 15. Almost to the point of a wall of fire from the small blaze you cast earlier is restricting. The good news is that you have deactivated the snare traps on that side with the flames. They are burnt up.
Okay. So I took 5 feet to crawl out.
Yes.
I took half my movement to get back up. I'm going to... I believe it's time for me to get out of their effective range, if I can. Actually, no. I'm gonna back up against this cliff, sort of behind the wreckage, and up against the construct as I say, I have no idea who or what you are, but thank you for the cover.
They are currently covered in soil themselves. It
It'll
is,
buff out.
it is Kit Tor, your action.
Okay. I'm the first thing I'm gonna do is get out. Disrupt the people below. They're running west. Try and head them off. And I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm gonna move there and take a short bow shot at the one who shot me.
Yeah, that would be the closest one.
Come on, please be a good roll. There
No
we go.
problem. That does. You come out from the side of the tree and you fire your bow towards them. It hits them dead in the eye, and they drop down the same.
Nice.
All right. Anything else you want to do?
No, that's all I can do.
Brack, you're up.
I'm gonna stand up. Can I see the goblin to the north, or is he too far away?
You can, from your perspective, yes, because you're far enough to the middle of the road to see them, because they're on the edge of the rise.
Rack will start to say something. Quickly think better of it. I'll just hit it with a firebolt.
All right, go for it. Armor class 15. Unfortunately, the distance is too far for you. You fire the firebolt, but it hits the side of the rise just above it.
And I'll go to ground again.
Not a problem. Ark, it's your action.
Upon hearing Kit Tor's announcement, Ark will just pivot, turn to us and be like, "Remain hidden," and he's just going to full Terminator 2 leg it towards that other goblin.
Okay.
I will. You'll get the response. At this point, no problem.
Use your action to dash to that
Yep.
area. And
As
then
I
goes
said,
to-
he is going absolutely hell for leather.
Then goes to the goblins again. This one is going to the one on the south. It's not really got a lot of options. It's going to shoot Rack again and then move back. Disadvantage because he's on the ground. Which is a 22 and a 23.
Oh
Would
my
you believe-
word.
Just slightly hit me.
4 points of piercing damage as it sticks into your side. It then moves back. And this time, it is going to, as a bonus action, hide. With the nimble escape. But it is a terrible hide.
Wow, that. Oh my god, even my passive perception's higher than that.
Alright. Well, for the record, I am not using passive perception. But you can see him because that was such a bad roll. But when it
I
comes,
like to think that they're using the T-Rex logic, like they cannot see, they can only see movement, so stand still.
pretty much, you know where he is. He couldn't possibly be anywhere else. When it comes to a hazard, it's going to be if you rolled a perception, you will see it.
Gotcha.
All right. This other goblin is gonna have to fire a short bow at Kit Tor. He's the nearest immediate threat.
Fair enough.
Fires at a 14, which misses.
Yeah,
Okay,
just.
then stay where they are. Loris, it's your action.
Cool. I was given an order, but now Rack is taking damage, and I'm shiny. I'm going to, now that I'm behind the cart, I'm going to pop out from behind it, firebolt, and then go prone again. It seems to be working for Rack.
No problem. It also comes to reason that this area is partially on fire, so a high check would have been extremely difficult anyway, because they wouldn't have been able to hide behind the tree if it's burning.
Wrong roll. Still pants.
Equally terrible, though. You prepare your action, and in your haste and fear for a retort, you are particularly injured as the pain from the arrow shoots down your shoulder yet again. Your fireball, in fact, catches the edge of the wagon in front of you.
Oh boy. Okay. Surely that'll. Actually, it takes me half my movement to go prone. So 1, 2, 3, prone.
No problem. Afterwards, Kit Tor, it's your act.
Okay. So if I then go 1, 2, 3. Alright, I'm gonna move a bit closer, and then I'm going to try and I'll take one more shot at it.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Kit Tor. You must
let me
make
guess.
me
Dex save.
a DC 10 dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Because this was a prepared, oh, not a problem, this was a prepared ambush for those that did come to investigate. You get to this area, and there is in fact a pit.
No, your old nemesis.
Oh god.
But this time, you are able to easily step aside from it. In fact, half of it is almost sloped to be able to get out. It's nearly the fall that would have caught you. You are able to easily avoid it. No impact on your action whatsoever.
Okay, so I then sort of mutter under my breath, that old classic, and I take the shot at him.
Not a problem. Although
And apparently miss.
evidently is a problem, and the goblin, seeing the wisdom of the creatures it's attacking, drops to ground momentarily as the attack goes over its head.
And my bonus action is to swear in Goblin and leave it at that.
That's actually a free action.
But yeah, I don't have any bonus actions, so that's what's up.
Rack, it's your action.
I'm gonna stand up and then look at the arrow in me. Loris, it got me.
That makes 2 of us.
Yeah, but it got me. And I'm gonna attempt to firebolt the one at the south.
Not a problem. Armor class 15. And it is not a problem. The firebolt comes in and adds to the already increasing fire over there and badly burns the goblin above you. They're still there, but they're badly burnt.
And I add to this exchange. It's no worry because you got them. Ah.
And then once again take another dive.
Alright, you go back to ground as the fires start to rise up.
Yeah, I'm going to carry on just legging it up here to cut them off before they get to the...
Go for it. When you get there, you notice that the wagon has seemingly been looted.
Okay. I will shout to the goblin, in goblin, halt, you're under arrest.
Alright, would you like to make that a diplomacy action or an intimidation? If you were to, it would be your action.
I dashed, that was my action.
Okay.
It was
You're not
just...
You're not sure if it takes your heed or not. It's probably trying to get out of there. It does go to the goblins. The one to the south, in fact, does move to its full extent out of view. But the one to the north is in pretty much a arc Kittor sandwich. So it doesn't have a lot of choices. It moves and it is going to attempt to shove Kittor into...
Oh my word.
Your old
Okay, so what
nemesis
save is
indeed.
that?
give me a dexterity or a strength against its strength.
Definitely Dex.
Not a problem. With a natural 20. It tried to push you back. You go onto the back of your rear paws. Your arms wail a little bit, but you're able to steady yourself without any issue. You can see definite fear in the eyes of the goblin. However, it can disengage as a bonus action, so it will,
Okay.
but it doesn't really have anywhere to go, so it's going to go there. Loris, your action.
Okay, this goblin is out of sight, right?
The one to the south is currently out of sight. The one to the north, from your perspective, is still out of sight because you're next to the ridge.
It vanished
Okay.
into the flames like Sephiroth.
In that case, I'm going to look at Rack and just sort of more under my breath that I have been speaking. Back, regroup at the wagon, and I'm going to. Can I crawl 30 feet?
You would be crawling at half speed, unfortunately, but you can indeed commando crawl.
Okay, I'm just gonna 1, 2, 3. I'm on 1 HP, so I'm making my way back.
All right, you're crawling over there. Kit, towards your action.
Okay, I'm just going to, with a grin, run up towards this guy and attack him with my short sword.
Yes. You make your way over there with your short sword brandished, and you cut straight across their belly. There's a pause where the goblin looks at you and its eyes go wide, and then the blood starts to trickle out from their midsection, and their guts land on the floor ahead of you.
There is a slight, there is a moment of this pause where there's like a slight grin across Kit's face, but his eyes widen, and then suddenly goes, "Oh, right, was I supposed to wait for his response before cutting him? Sorry.
This will make getting our belongings back a lot more difficult.
With that in mind, you are now out of initiative order. The last remaining goblin has fled the scene.
Loris does not know that, so he's just going to continue crawling along the ridge line
Can
After-
toward the cart.
Can I?
Kit has just hurt.
As you examine your handiwork, Kittor, and Ark, you are checking the area next to you because there are the odd weapon has been laid about the ground around you as the wagon over there has been looted. That was, by the way, the stealth check I made earlier,
Yeah, that makes sense.
which was much
actually,
better
Kit-
than the one actually hiding. Eventually, you can see a dwarf commando crawling around the corner.
I am I'm gonna say that Kit's actual reaction now that he's heard it for the first time is, "Wait, our stuff's nicked? What?" And just runs over like, "Oh man! I mean, we didn't have a lot of stuff, but it was our stuff, you know."
Someone else's stuff now.
I finally reach the wagon, still commando crawling. See everyone out in the open, and I say, "Get down! There could be Oh wait, they're dead. And I finally stand up, looking like I'm gathering my dignity, and say, "Well, that could have gone better. Also, ow."
Yeah, you sure you do want to do something about that blood, the stuff that's pouring out of you quite badly?
If but I could, alas, I'm going to need a moment, and as the ridiculous dwarf he is, he just yanks the arrow out, mutters something in Dwarvish, and says, "I'm sure I'll be fine."
I will allow it for flavor, but conventionally I would have put that as 1 point of damage, but that would put you onto the
Right.
ground.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, I would allow it, because he is that ridiculous.
No, that would be particularly cruel.
In that case, just for flavor, I'll just have Kit say, "Oh no, wait, I wouldn't do that." Ooh, but it's impressive you're still up.
You can see the pain etched across his face, but he's still given a modicum of nobility to his stature.
Not going to be
I've been-
outdone. Rack's gonna also yank out his arrow.
Not a problem.
Again, I wouldn't do that if. Oh,
You can see the half
yeah.
orc grit his teeth.
You do, however, notice there's barely any blood, and what does come out is trickles very slowly.
Huh. Well, I guess it's true. Half orcs are made of stellar stuff, I suppose. That is what you are, right?
What? Yeah.
Okay, great. Oh, don't think we've introduced ourselves. Name's Kit. Hi. Mercenary. Here's my card if you want it. Just toss you a card.
I nod and say, normally I would have caught that, but I'm a bit preoccupied. I am Loris Gloryhammer, War Mage. He was about to add something, but extraordinaire would sound really strange coming from the guy on 1 HP.
It comes to your attention that the weapons you were asked to bring by Gundren and Rockseeker to the miners' exchange have been taken from your wagon. Likewise, this for the other two of you, wagon that was upturned was definitely belonging to Gundren and Rockseeker. That was his map case, has his name engraved onto it. He is also missing and absent, presumably taken by the goblins who set this trap as well for whomever was to investigate.
Right. In that.
Right. In response to that, sort of Kit's gonna go, "Oh, shoot the weapons! Yeah. Oh, Gundren's gonna be so mad. That was kind of our job to get those to him. Oh."
Hold a moment. Did you say Gundren, as in Gundren Rockseeker?
Oh, yeah, do you work for him? Could you just, not mention any of this when we next speak to him? It would kind of look bad on our reputations.
Well, would you like the good news or bad news first?
Sure, let's just go the way my life's always gone. Bad news, then good news.
The bad news is, he's missing. The good news is, when you find your weapons, you will likely find him with them.
Oh, well, yeah, I suppose that's good in a way. In fact, one could say our job's already done since they've been delivered, but I suppose we better make sure that he's alive and, we get paid and all that.
If nothing else, Rack and I would appreciate the assistance on a. I can only speak for myself, but that was not my best performance. I swear normally I am an extraordinaire, but that was not extraordinaire.
Oh, it's fine. Goblins are really tricky, evil, annoying, and like to just ruin people's lives. Anyway, on that note, he's just going to hop up and make another perception check just to see if you can see like any other goblins in the area, just to make sure?
You can make a perception check, and if you want, you can make an investigation or a survival to follow the trail. The trail, to be fair, is pretty obvious where they've gone. One of them was wounded, so they will be leaving the trail. Plus, they weren't particularly well at hiding it. Your own investigation shows that there were more traps. There were about 2 snares per side and 2 small pit traps with sloped side if you were to run up the side. They had really dug out themselves an attack position, in their mind pretty well, but they weren't prepared for your amount of offense. What you also find is the trail from the last goblin. Most certainly not a deliberate trail, because they were just running for their life. Will probably take you back to their base of operation.
Well, at least we now know where to go. Probably before we do that, we should do something about all the bleeding. Do you have any potions on you? Anything like that? Actually, out of character, do we have any potions? I forgot what our starting gear is.
You do not have any potions. Magical equipment like potions is pretty rare.
Yeah, fair.
I respond to that, just sort of seated up against the ridge here, and thinking, and in the words of Star Wars, thinking about my life. I'll say, for our sins, no, I think we'll have to rest this one off.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Well, not to sort of be at our best health. I mean, I also took a couple of hits myself. To sort of brushing, brushing his arm underneath the cloak so that you can't actually see there is a little bit of blood there.
And incidentally, weirdly coming from the worst injured member of the party, Loris will look up at Rack and say, Speaking of which, how are you holding up?
I found a stick, and I hold up the arrow.
Yes. Well, group decision. If we're all in on this with a similar goal, how about we lick our wounds for a while and then go give them what for?
You can take a short rest as you do travel the high road to their Cragmore hideout. Or you could take a full rest, but then you would have the risk of setting up somewhere. That would take a lot longer as well, even in sense of time.
Yeah, short rest would be absolutely fine if we can just basically do light duty going there, because I use no spells, I just need my hit die.
Yeah, there is potentially a sense of urgency in recovering the missing person, and with that you set out to the Cragmore hideout to face the goblins that have taken your friend and have taken your weapons. And with that, we're going to take a short... As they take a short rest, but don't go anywhere, we will be right back. Welcome back. Our party has made it to Cragmore Hideout. You are at the cave mouth. Following the Goblin's Trail, you come across a large cave in the hillside, 5 miles from the scene of the ambush. You've taken a short rest and applied that to your hit points during the travel. A shallow stream flows out of the cave, which is screened by dense briar thickets. A narrow dry path leads into the cave on the right-hand side of the street.
This is very tense.
Can I make a perception check for any sort of traps or anything?
You can indeed.
I'll do the same just to see if I can see any goblins nearby.
I'll assist on someone's perception.
You're assisting.
Alright.
Oh, that's mine.
So since a goblin did make it back to the cave and potentially alerted them of your presence, you get the idea that they may be prepared for you. Nearby, by a dense briar thicket, on the east side of the stream flowing from the cave mouth, a small area of thickets has been hollowed out to form a lookout post, or wooden planks flatten out of the briars here and provide room for 2 guards which you can spot that think they lie hidden and are watching you. It is a pair of goblins lurking there at this time.
Whereabouts is that, sorry?
That is here.
Oh, here's okay. So,
You would have to. You can see them through the thickets, but you'd have to go around the side where they would definitely see you.
okay.
Well, they see you now, to be fair, but they think they.
So are they in a little ditch sort of thing?
Yeah, as it comes around to the side, it opens up. But they're looking at you through the thicket
Okay.
because they rolled pretty bad on their stealth.
Alright. In that case,
Can we get the jump on them then?
You could indeed. Well, I mean, to be fair, if you were to attack them by running around the side, they would see you, but you could definitely get some ranged attacks off. But they would have +5 cover through the. But if you went around the side, you could attack them, but then we'll be going at initiative order.
I'll open with an acid splash then, since that doesn't work with cover.
Not a problem. Who wants to make a surprise action? If you have any ranged attacks, you can do.
Would I be able to move before they start doing attack actions? Just so I can head off between them and the cave?
Yeah, that would be fine. You would have to. Actually, that's not a problem because it's just a shallow stream from here. You can cross the stream, no problem.
I may try to make a stealth check to sort of. I don't know if it would be possible to sneak up on them from this position, or.
Well, to be fair, the first actions taken was an acid splash and then Ark running around the side. And as soon as Ark gets there, that will reveal that the jig is up and the acid splash. So at that point, since those actions have been taken, we'll go for the acid splash and then we'll roll on initiatives.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd like to approach with Ark because my stealth is, anyway, I'd like to approach with Ark.
Not a problem, you can roll up behind him. Right, the surprise actions will occur now, so Rak, you had an acid splash and the rest of you moved around. Whilst Kit-Tor began to start stealthing, but the action was a bit too fast for that. You may make your acid splash, which is a dex.
Yeah, DC 13.
Alright, unfortunately it gets caught up in the thickets as you go to cast your spell, at which point Ark and Loris make their way around the side of the stream.
Lay down your weapons, you're under arrest.
To which it is your action, Rak.
I'll go with the acid again.
Alright, another dex save for the goblins as the acid comes in. For them, that is going to be a natural 1. Does it hit 1 target or 2?
It hits 2 as long as the
they're
second's within 5
Within
feet.
5 feet, cool. The acid splashes in. You can see it burn through the briar to the side of them and hit both of their forms. They cry out in agony as their cries echo through the cave mouth. After a couple of seconds, you think you can begin to hear the barking of wolves.
Be quiet!
It does then go to them. You can see the goblins as they wrench at their face, which is still burning from the ash, scream down into the cave mouth. And a howl echoes back. The goblins next to you, Ark, are going to move up and attack you because you're pretty much the only one there they can. They produce scimitars, and they both go to attack. The first attack roll is a 12, and the second one is a 21.
Are these stolen weapons by any chance?
They are not. Is that a hit on the 21?
Well, on the 21, yeah.
Yeah. 3 points of slashing to your metal form. And you
Damn.
can hear nearby the sound of wolves. Kit, you're up.
Okay, I would imagine that Kit, it was crouching down, was about to go, hey, so what do you... What? Ah! And I'm going to move up to around here and take a short bow shot at the one that's closest to me.
Yep, DC 15.
And I believe that'll be a sneak attack if you hit.
Indeed, there is an ally within 5 foot. But alas,
Unfortunately, I
there's no
miss.
sneak attack on this. It goes straight into the thickets. Talk about getting into the thick of it. And with that sigh,
The plot thickets.
Ark, it's your action.
Right. Damage sustained. Lethal force authorized. I'm just going to attack the one right in front of me.
That is a hit. You attack directly to the target ahead of you, as pro, and you slash across their neck as they reel backwards from your attack. The blood seeps out in a line and covers you as the goblin drops to the ground.
I'll face you and do not resist.
Anything else you'd like to do?
That's everything.
Loris, it's your action.
Okay, I'm going to... Actually, I'm gonna... Before I move, I'll just hype myself up and say, yes, this is it for sure. And I'm going to rock up, draw my quarterstaff, and bonk this goblin.
Not a problem.
18.
18 is definitely a hit.
8 points of bludgeoning.
Alright, you do so. You stroll up to the goblin who remains standing on the body of the fallen goblin, take out your quarterstaff and bonk it on the head. Almost like a turtle going into its shell, you can see the head of the goblin visibly dig down into the cranium. But this is not a natural effect by any stretch of the imagination. You have slain the goblin.
Vertebral compression is a bitch. I'm going to, I'm going to say to myself, yes, much better, and I'm going to turn back to the cave mouth and just prepare. Yeah, just sort of prepare to engage whatever approaches.
You can hear the barking sounds of large dogs or perhaps wolves. They rile up and then eventually stop. They're still excited. They're nearby, but they haven't closed in on your position.
I'll say to the others then, think we've got more friends inside, companions. And that's my turn.
We're out of turn order.
Fair enough.
In that case, Kid will sort of speak up and go, let's be careful about this, because goblins tend to just leave all sorts of traps and have additional guard animals nearby, and whilst the bold approach does work, I would kind of also like not to die. Just to decide.
Yes, that's quite prudent, and on that, I look at my companion's grimace and say, maybe you ought to take the lead on this. We're not exactly subtle.
Okay, I will see what I can do, and I'm going to try and just sort of stealth inside, just to sort of I can try and get an idea of the layout or where any enemies are.
All right, make me a stealth roll.
Okay, come on.
Oh boy, that's a good stealth roll.
God in heaven, Jonan.
Okay, so I'm just going to creep along, and I can see wolves nearby. I'm going to say I sort of leap around to here.
Okay.
And I can just about see the corner of the wolves, so I'm going to... They still haven't seen me. And that case, from there, I'm just going to... Oh dear.
You can see the wolves, 3 of them from when you get inside, on the direct right, just inside the cave mouth. A few uneven stone steps lead to a small, dank chamber on the east side of the passage. The cave narrows to a steep fissure at the far end and is filled with the stench of animals. Savage snarls and the sounds of rattling chains greet your ears, where 3 wolves are chained up inside the opening. Each wolf's chain leads to an iron rod driven into the base of a stalagmite.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to try and essentially make hand signals to everyone, just sort of trying to demonstrate.
Okay. Make me a perception check, guys. That was a natural 20. He disappeared.
Oh god.
Is everyone ready for my best stat? My best stat? Not too bad.
I mean,
you can see back at them. They're not really acknowledging.
Let's go. Right. Oh god, I'm gonna have to creep back outside to talk about this. Okay. I'll just. The first thing I'll do is creep forward 1 step just to see what's around here.
From where you are, you're in the main passage, which is a cave mouth that climbs steeply up the stream, plunging and splashing down to the west side. In the shadows, the side passage leads west across the other side of the stream.
Okay, in that case, I am going to slowly creep back outside, trying not to let the wolves see me, although they're chained up, so I guess it doesn't matter too much, but still.
You're not certain they reacted to your presence.
Okay. I will then, I guess, suddenly stealth high and just go, okay, let's do it the same round. Okay, the bad news is that there's a massive network of tunnels. They could be anywhere. The good news, the wolves appear to be chained up, even if they are just by the entrance.
I tell a lie. They have advantage on their perception checks.
Oh, okay.
They did see you, and they bark loudly when you passed by, but nothing happened.
And then you just saw the see me as Rupert go, and although that said, the barks might have given me away, so, yeah. Wolves chained up! Don't know what else is inside.
That's not ideal. How do we want to do this?
Give it a go. Well, I usually prefer the sneaky way, but, I'm technically not your boss, so you guys do what you want.
Well,
you get wolves while they chained up.
If they're the alert system, it would do to disable it. As for you, my furry friend, no offense. Perhaps it would be best if you trailed along behind us and remained hidden yourself. I don't believe the rest of us would have such luck.
He does. Fair enough. Just try not to get stabbed by arrows again. That was a lot of blood you lost earlier.
Tell me about it. I'll look at Ark, still sort of in awe at the presence of him, and say, Well, it looks like the two of us are the only heavily armored ones, so let's say we take the initiative on this, sir. Are you a sir? I don't know.
I am a construct. Gender is irrelevant.
Fair enough. Let's have at them.
We must be wary of traps.
Indeed, though it has often been said of me that I have the common sense of a common fence, I will be on high alert.
Indeed. Yeah, I suppose we'll just walk as cautiously as one can into a pit of goblins.
Doubtlessly they are aware you're there, but nobody saw Kit with that natural 20. Not a chance.
Okay, in that case, I presume those.
Since Ark still has higher HP than I do, I think a good order would be Ark, me, Rack, and then a few spaces behind Kit.
Okay.
And and in fact, just to affect that, I'll look at Rack and say, behind me, lad. Keep an eye open.
Since
I
you all
got
have
two.
Since you all have dark vision of some form or another, you're not impeded by the dark.
Cool.
When you get inside, you can see those 3 wolves chained up against the stalagmite. They move against it, but they are very heavily tied down.
Ark's just going to continue past them if they're not a threat.
Yeah, if he's not attacking, then I'm not either.
Alright. You move
Can I
through.
make a perception behind the wolves there?
Yes, you can. Alright. With your perception check of 18, you believe that there could be something behind the wall. There's a steep area where there's rubble that leads upwards.
Behind the hole, there's wall in hole. Hole in wall.
I'll look in that direction and frown and say, someone might be able to use that to free those while we're ahead of them.
Should we neutralize the wolves?
Might be best while they're still stationary.
I'll keep a
With that,
lookout.
I'll open up with an acid splash on them since they're immobile.
Alright.
I would suggest ranged attack.
I will actually. I have sort of a means to. Do I want to do that? Actually, yeah. Also, we'll just. How about we just you and I, Rack, just stand back and unleash hell.
I will position myself just here in case they do get loose and run a...
Okay, so make your attack with the acid splash. That will be a dexterity. They fail, you may do your damage. Alright, the acid does splash onto the first 2 of them, who absolutely howl in pain. And the howl echoes up the corridor. For yourself,
Which 2 were those?
the top.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna firebolt. Just put one of them.
Alright, well, after the first attack comes in,
Okay.
the wolf howl out in pain, and you can hear the sounds of tremendous rushing water from above you as the stream picks up to a tremendous wave that immediately crashes into you from the side.
Ooh.
Blue sploosh.
That is going to be a dexterity.
Oh,
Wait, is this a check or a
DC
save?
Sorry. That is going to be a DC 10 dexterity saving throw for 2d6
Wow.
damage and be pushed back to the front.
We all made it!
Alright. Half as much damage on a success, I'm afraid. But you are not knocked prone. I take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as a huge wave comes crashing in from the north direction. At that point, Ark and Loris, as you are at the front, you can see a goblin ahead of you on the top of a bridge. In the shadows of the ceiling to the north, you can make out the dim shape of a rickety bridge of wood and rope crossing over a passage ahead of you. Another passage intersects that one, 20 feet above, but there is a goblin bouncing up and down on the bridge. After it heard the cry from the wolves, and with a actual direct line of sight with the rest of you, it was hiding until the water came out. It sees you knocked back from the effect, stands for a moment, turns around and starts yelling.
what's it saying?
It's saying, again, again, again! In Goblin. Nothing immediately happens.
I will translate for the rest of the party. They will try that again. Perhaps we should seek shelter with the wolves. Or at least step out the cave.
Wise call, and I'm just going to nip in here.
Alright.
I am going to try and stealth
That is
up here,
particularly
if that makes it.
cool. With a particularly bad stealth, a goblin drops from the top of that shaft, slams down. He kind of looks at you with his eyes wide.
Here come the
And-
wolves.
And I see this, right?
You do, yes.
Do I get a chance to react before we hit initiative?
You can indeed. He didn't get a chance to stealth in there.
He's getting a magic missile. All of them.
Alright, that automatically hit.
15 points of damage.
Nice.
He
I
pretty
was-
much
I was about to say, if you survive this, you're under arrest.
He pretty much lands in, falls on his butt, looks at you guys, clearly had the intention of setting the wolves free. The magic missiles come in from either side, all three of them hit him in unison, and there's a explosion of arcane energy. When the explosion disappears, there is no goblin by any trace of the imagination.
Since we're doing movie references, it's kind of like it seems that Loris has taken the N209 approach, like.
As expected.
The wolves are trying to gnash at you, but they can't get towards you. They're still chained in.
Alright. I'll look at... Kit has vanished again. I'll look back at the others, say... What say we finish what we... Oh, he's gone. What say we finish what we started?
Yeah, make me a stealth roll, Kit.
Right up.
To see. My
20.
goodness.
Oh,
A natural
my-
20. To be fair, even with a -1, which goes to 19, it was a natural 20, which is a success.
Oh my god.
You start creeping down that corridor to the side. You do see a goblin den with a high concentration of goblins. A large cave is divided in half by 10-foot high encampment. A steep natural staircase leads from the lower portion to the upper ledge. The air is hazy with smoke and cooking fire, and pungent from the smell of poorly cured hides and unwashed goblins. There are 6 goblins in there, but you can hear the mumblings faintly of a humanoid. But with that, you can see the head goblins have noticed. At which point we will have to go to initiative at this point.
Okay.
Same initiative as before, or roll them again?
Let's roll again. For it is new con.
Okay, so you just click on the token and then do initiative? Or?
Yeah, just roll initiatives and I'll add it when we get there. Oh wow, what a great initiative for the goblins. Spectacular. Everyone goes before the goblins, however. A natural 1 on their initiative. First we have Loris. You can still hear that goblin jumping up and down on the bridge ahead of you, commanding to do.
Okay, Rack is still out there, so I'm going to nip out here, cheekily firebolt him, and nip back.
Not a problem. AC 15.
Yikes.
Your bolt goes in and it catches the underside of the bridge. The goblin ducks down. Once again, it perks up, looks to the side. Again!
and I'll just look at Rack and say, let's get to cover.
Rack, who is in cover, your action.
Only choice of cover is outside or ahead, isn't it? So.
Yes.
I'll call out to Kit. Is it safe ahead? Where you are?
No, it's not!
Oh, good.
Alright. You step out there. You can see the same sight. There are, from your perspective, 5 goblins. And they do appear to have noticed Kit, despite the fact they have hidden themselves extremely well.
But I can see them fine, yeah?
Yeah, you interchange, you had words, so they revealed them to you.
I'm going to attempt to hit the ones in the cave then with a chaos bolt.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that is definitely a hit. Your Chaos Bolt hits the first goblin and sends them flying. Their body contorts as they fly through the air and hit the side of the wall, dead on the other side.
I'm then going to duck into the tunnel so I don't want to get hit by that water again.
Not a problem. Kit is your action.
Okay, I'm gonna use feline agility, which doubles my movement, and I'm going to 1 and 2, 3. Gonna run up to this guy and try and cut him with my short sword to stop him doing it again and again.
He's above you on a bridge, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, so in that case I'll shoot him.
Not a problem. He did not have time to get back into his hidey hole.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, you run up there. From your perspective from afar, the bridge looked like it was closer to the ground than it actually was, and you thought you might be able to leap up to it. By the time you get there, you realise it is above you, but you're too late. You've already fired off your shot, and it hits the underside of the bridge.
Right. In that case, I will just yell back at the goblin, "No again!" and just run back to where I was before.
Not a problem. It then does go to Ark.
Question is, do we leave the wolves or?
Probably still best to take him out because we don't know how many more goblins can just try to drop down and free him.
Okay. If I move to, I can get that one, can't I?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'll get that one then.
You move in to stab him.
Oh no.
However, you're moving past that rock, and Arc EXE fails to run. The attack sequence had an unknown error and had to close. It then goes round to that.
Goddamn Windows 98.
as the goblin was so insistent, they do yet again release a torrent of water, but no one is in that area. So unfortunately, there are no targets. The water rises in a roaring waterfall, in a roaring stream across you, but no one is in the vicinity. Ark, you are, however, next to a wolf when you have your fumble. It does get to bite you on an 18.
That's a miss.
Alright, it tries to bite, but it just snaps its teeth against your metal exterior. For yourself, Rack, you can see the goblin ahead of you raise its short bow, and it fires. The attack is a 23.
I'm not liking where this is going.
For 8 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, I'm going to use my half-orc endurance and drop to 1 HP.
Not a problem. With that and your Call of the Grave, I will allow you to stack them as you...
Yeah, I'll take the half-orc one.
Not a problem. Then, they seem to move around to the side of the rise up next to them, so out of your direct sight. Well, the ones that remain. One of them is in little pieces all over the floor. The goblin on the bridge can't see anyone, so he is just going to try and hide. Which he does so. Loris, it's your act.
Okay, so Ark is right there. I'm going to step up and... Oh, that's an obstacle. Can I get in this square?
You can stand on top of it, yes.
Okay, I'm going to get up and green flame blade.
Alright, make your attack.
This will be a quarter staff, and if it hits, it does things.
Yeah, it will hit the next target as well with the effect.
12.
12 against the wolf is not a hit, I'm afraid. Just shy of the natural armor.
That's fair. I'm not going to step away because that's attacks of opportunity. I'm just going to stay here and meet wall with Ark.
Alright. Rack, it is your action.
Those other goblins went deeper inside, didn't they?
They went to the direct left out of your view. You can see steps that lead up. But from the layout of the cave, it couldn't be much further. And as you do get
got eyes
around-
on from there, yeah.
You can see 3 of them.
I'll do the same as before. I'll do a chaos bolt on one of them.
Not a problem. Unfortunately, that does miss as the Chaos Bolt comes in with chaotic outcome and it hits the side of the wall nearby.
In that case, I'm going to take a step back. Yeah, I'll go prone. They've been using arrows.
Not a problem. You dive onto the floor with a combat dive directly next to Kit Tor, whose action it is.
Okay, I'm going to I'm trying to decide what to do. I'm in an dilemma about what to do, because on the one hand, those 3 goblins are shooting at us, but on the other hand, there is that whole water goblin I'd like to get rid of. Oh, these are the most immediate danger, so I'm going to see if I can crawl past them. Right, get about as far as here. And I'm going to take a pot shot at this one. Why not?
Okay, go for it.
Hopefully I can actually hit with this thing. There we go.
That is a hit.
7.
Alright. You in fact stick him with your short bow arrow and it sticks him straight up against the wall and into it.
Nice. Okay, and let's double check something. Okay. Since I'm going to use up most of my movement, I can't go prone, so I am going to run here and hope it gives me some kind of cover. I don't think it does.
Not a problem. You get into that corridor there. Ahead of you, you can see it does go up and around, probably towards that bridge.
Good to know.
Ark, it's your action.
Let's have another crack at the... That's
This
more like
time, you find the problem and you troubleshoot the attack. You are able to land your longsword. Alright, and with the previous acid damage done to it, you cut it down in its place.
I will also then move to hopefully take any attacks that maybe go in Loris's.
Okay, stand directly in front. It then goes to them. You will be pretty much soaking both of the... which is what you wanted to. Unfortunately, they do have pack tactics, so these will be an advantage.
Oh dear.
So the best is a 16 there, and then a 23.
23 gets me.
Alright, you must make a DC 11 strength saving throw. Will be knocked prone. And 9 piercing damage. Although you resist it trying to drag you down to the floor with its teeth. On the other side, Kit Tor, you can see one of the goblins steps aside as a slightly taller goblin, but no less stern looking, moves around into your visibility, holding a blade to the neck of a human who looks extremely weak and extremely beaten, and he drags him in front of you. You put down weapon, surrender, or he dies.
So, all right,
Just as an FYI, that attack did actually put me on my ass. So
Not a problem.
Oh, no.
Ark had to shut down.
Okay, this is going well. Am I allowed to respond, or do I have to wait my turn?
You can talk. Talking is a free action.
Okay,
You have 20 words in a round.
okay. I respond. I respond. If I do, will you let him go, or are you just gonna kill us anyway?
Yes.
Ah. I think I've run out of words there. So.
Loris, it's your action.
Okay, this is troublesome. He has no idea what's going on in the other room. Has Ark just sort of done the...
Pretty much, he stopped in one place. You think for a moment he might be defending against an attack, but then ever so slightly starts to rock and eventually tip.
in that case, I'm just... Well, that's not good. What are my options?
You could attempt to drag him away if you wanted to, or you could attack them. You're in threat range at this time.
Yeah, and if I get hit with pack tactics, I'm boned?
From where you are, they can't get pack tactics.
Okay.
Because they both have to be within 5 feet of you. However, you can disengage, but if you disengage, you can't disengage whilst dragging Ark away.
Right. Okay, it's safer than for me to try and green flame blade again.
That would work.
14.
14 is a hit. Their armor class is 13.
So it does the regular damage. 8 bludgeoning, and this one takes 3 fire damage.
Alright. The quarterstaff hits and bludgeons down the wolf in front of you. The green flame then hops onto the neck, scalding it with the fire. This one was, however, not previously injured by the acid earlier.
Okay, and so it doesn't take any further attacks on Ark. I am going to basically stand here and be a big juicy target.
Not a
A bold
problem.
move. I hope it works out for you.
Arak, it's your action.
I am gonna crawl out, and then I'm gonna acid splash the main dude with the sword,
Not a problem. Dexterity save
and then the goblin to his left.
for the noble and trustworthy Yenik.
Ooh.
Who completely fails. The acid splashes onto him and the adjacent goblin as well.
I like to imagine
So-
that whole conversation of yes, Star Wars.
Severely injuring the goblin next to him. Not so much the larger goblin ahead of him, although he does grit his teeth and pull the blade closer to the human's throat, this time letting loose a little bit of blood as he does.
I can keep doing this.
Final warning! Put it down, or human dies! Kit Tor, it's your act.
Okay. I don't know. That kid plays first off, Kit asks. So the options are drop, surrender, or he dies, right?
He dies!
Okay. Option 3, and I just bolt around there. Okay.
Plan C.
So I just go around. I'm just gonna go around here for the moment. Pretty much in the homestead. Well, yeah, that I go after me essentially because I'm.
It leads to a bridge directly ahead of you.
Okay. In that case, I'll just run around and I see the guy in the hidey hole now? Or?
You do. He was hiding, but where you're looking, there is nowhere to hide.
Okay.
So
In that
he
case,
was hid around the corner.
in that case, as I run around, let me just double check something real quick. I think it's. Okay, it is removed my movement. Good. Okay, in that case, it's gonna see him and then go, "Aye!" and just quickly take a shot by shot at him.
Go for it. Armor class 15 on the goblin. That is easily a hit. You may do your damage. Alright. The shot shoots into the neck of the goblin, and blood starts to trickle down. Again! Falls down to the ground ahead of you.
Okay.
Not so joyously.
And I'll end my turn with Kit muttering under his breath, "Well, that's one problem solved. Just 1,000 more left, but it's fine. It's fine. One at a time."
Ark, you may make a life or death roll. Or a troubleshoot roll.
Don't crash! Oh no.
So a little puff of smoke comes out of his chest.
Oh no.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
That's kind of the problem, I think.
Loris, you are going to get a bite attack from the wolf directly next to you on a 13, which I believe misses, as it paws at you and tries to bite you down to its level. Rack, you can see the goblin that was heavily injured rear up. Bo, are you still on the ground?
Yeah.
Okay, that will be a disadvantage. Which makes it a 13.
That still hits.
Oh,
no.
okay. That will be 4 points of piercing damage.
Okay, I gotta make a DC 9 save.
Yep, you have your call from the grave roll. Pretty much works the same way as zombie relentless endurance.
Nice. Oh,
But that's
no! Oh, I'm so sorry.
The arrow shoots you in the side, For a moment of your orcish relentless endurance, you start to get up, but then that blood that doesn't often flow starts to trickle out, and you find yourself down on the ground. This time not by your own choice. From around the corner, Kitor, you can hear the shouting of Yumik. We got your friend! Surrender, or he dies! Loris, it's your action.
Okay. I have an idea to potentially save Ark, but it requires this thing to be dead. So, I'm just going to not even green flame blade, because there's no point. The only person I can attack is Ark, and I don't want to short him out any more than he already is. I'm gonna quarterstaff.
No problem.
No,
It's
I'm not.
unfortunately a miss as your quarterstaff comes in, but you pretty much trip over the bulky frame of the downed Warforged as you do. Rack, it's going to be a life or death for yourself. Things are looking pretty bleak for our heroes this round, it does seem.
That was so nearly a one.
That would have been 2. Kitor, you hear this from the passage you retreated from.
Okay. Kit's eyes moves back around and he goes, I look around, see what's over the rock, and go, okay, fine. I bring out the short bow and drop it, but I also want to hide my dagger, so would that be like a roll to do that?
That would be a sleight of hand check. You could have done that on your way there.
Okay, I will do that now. Could be bad, please don't be bad. Oh, come on!
What is happening?
That was a +6. I literally could have rolled anything, it would have been good.
I mean, Yimik could also roll a 1.
Yeah.
It is certainly possible. You were markedly better. Rolled a 3 with a -1 to 2.
Okay.
I'll be back in a second. Tell me if we all.
Okay. So you see him drop the short sword, but he's desperately trying to fumble the weapon behind him. In fact, you know what? For the nat 1, I'll say what happens is Kit goes, see, no weapons, and then you just hear king as the dagger falls behind him. He goes, oh, well, no weapons. Eh?
A smile creeps across the Goblin Leader's face. Arc, Control, Alt, Delete.
Oh god, here we go.
Oh no. Oh, for God.
Alright, we've got the task manager open. We're sorting out the issue. It then goes to the goblins. Loris will be getting an attack from the wolf. We shall see. But it gets a terrible 2 on its roll, making it a 6 in total as it tries to drag him down to the floor as he does his IT technician impression to Ark next to him. One of the goblins does, although it very, very gingerly steps down, being as it was, and still is smouldering from acid. Another goblin comes around, and this final goblin will actually attempt to jump down, which they do, surprisingly enough. See, it's not so hard.
Jumping down's the easy part. It's getting up that's the problem.
Jumps down to that location. They're coming towards you, Kit.
Right.
Loris, it's your action. The wolf tried to attack you, but failed.
Okay. I'll take that. I'll try and quarterstaff it again.
Not a problem. You could also attempt to stabilize as an action. That would be a medicine check. It's almost funny because I almost think it should be a tinker check on Ark. Alas, you're about to attack the wolf, but just then you kind of hear doo doo doo.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Rack, it's your action. You have a life or death. This time the fates are with you as you're 1 up, 1 down, the same as Ark. And Kit is your action.
Okay, so they previously said that they're gonna kill us whether we surrender or not, correct?
You got the impression they kind of avoided answering directly. You've dropped your weapons. You could still spend your action to do a medicine check on Rack to stabilize them.
Yeah, I think that's what I may try and do. In fact, I'll also see if I can. Can I use half my movement to just sort of maybe drag him away slightly?
You could, yes.
Okay, I'll sort of drag him down back further into the tunnel, so at the very least they come at us one at a time.
Not a problem. You push him out of the way.
And
You're not sure how they took that.
And then I'll
can
stabilize
attempt-
him. So medicine check, is it?
Yes, it's medicine. DC. Not a problem, Rack.
Oof.
You are currently stabilized.
Okay. And my last thing I'll do is I'll say Goblin. Okay, so final question: do you want to capture us, eat us, or kill us?
You ask to the goblins. You don't get a reply, but there is some amount of conversation, but mostly snick.
Okay. I'll do the sign button order over. Yes, and of course they wouldn't be trustworthy, would they? Okay, yeah, that's my turn.
Alright, Ark, you're up.
Here we go. It wasn't a 1.
It wasn't a 1. You're still 2 down, 1 up, I'm afraid, currently.
The 1 was what I was worried about.
That is extremely bad. It does come around to the goblins again. The wolf is going to try and more at Loris. Oh my goodness.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh god.
oh god.
I hate level 1.
Is
Well,
this
it was
the end of
nice
our
having
brave
a
adventurers?
Hopefully your
I'm down.
corpse won't be liquid dust by the end of this.
Alright, well, you're tending to Ark by the side of you as the wolf jumps up for your jugular and bites down into it. As you struggle against, your sight goes black and you fall to the ground. Rack, even though you're unconscious, Rack, you're unconscious, but you can hear a scream from the other corridor as the goblins ahead of you start to pick up your weapons and loom in, giggling as they do so. Not so big, not so tough. You're mine. And that's where we're going to leave this session.
Oh my god.
Well, that's certainly a big.
I don't think there's going to be a session 2 if I'm honest.
Well,
Oh, it won't be very long.
thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next time on The Lost Mine.